Yeah, just charge rent out the wazoo. Really, just make it hard for the people living there. Make sure that it's someone who can't leave, who's kind of stuck there for a while. Maybe they got a bunch of kids and like no job prospects. Make sure that's my tenant.
Strip club wrestling or strip club wrestling, I guess, is already kind of a thing. That can't be. I was thinking maybe the title, but like strip club wrestling definitely doesn't bring to mind a play on words so much as just, strippers wrestling.
Just wrestling in a strip club, yeah.
And I guess that works as a double entendre on top of a double entendre, but that's too many levels deep on these fools.
Dude, I think that you pressing record somehow flipped my screen back correct.
Did I flip it upside down again when I restarted, or did that fix it?
No, it flipped back correct now. It's back right side up.
What'll you prep? I guess we'll find out. It's a game of chicken and mouse.
Of SlapChicken.
Oh, I've slapped a chicken, and I will again.
Haven't we all?
I got video. I'm putting this audio in, and I'm putting this video in. We're already, don't even bother clap syncing or clap now, but I'm putting this part in because it means I captured you yet again, not having the appropriate video software ready to record video. It's been
You can put this in, except I wasn't recording my audio at the time, so it's just going to be you getting mad.
Are you recording it now?
I'm recording my audio now.
Then that's a good enough overlap for me, bitch. You're just going to be mute for the first 30 seconds.
Okay, fine. Everyone's going to be very confused and wondering what you're so dang angry at.
Nope, they'll hear you come in.
Innocent me, so quiet and innocent and collected.
Like a thief in the night, innocent.
Exactly. Like a little dickling, just causing mischief.
A dickling.
Silently.
Oh, dickling reminds me. There was recent cause for me and some of my friends to think of obtuse insults. Like, what was it? Unsalted pretzel was mine. Like an unsalted pretzel of a human was the one I thought of.
That's a good one.
And I think that one won. But we also had, what was it? Like, I think damp fish stick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just we were trying to think of things along that vein, and I was wondering if you had any you could pull to mind, because man, I've seen some on Reddit that are just amazing, but hard to remember.
I think just calling someone limp is like pretty good.
I've heard
if you're just looking for a one-word thing.
Gray sprinkle on a rainbow cupcake. I've heard a bunch of good ones, and I wish I could recall more of them. I need to be rehearsing this nightly. There's got to be some dickling. I don't know. Limp dickling would be a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's a Jake and Amir one. Is a bitchlee dickling.
See, that's just a step higher.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. That's what we were doing, but worse.
That and Queen Dweeb was another one.
Okay, that's mediocre. I think we were coming on par with that.
Rolls off the tongue pretty nice.
Bitchlee dickling is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I would say so.
Think we could get away with making that the title of the video on YouTube?
Ooh. Yeah, I think we could give up the monetization on one episode. I think we can call it a bitchly dickling. We can afford it.
You think I can spell it phonetically but incorrectly enough that it gets through detection?
I mean, how would you do that? Just take the T out of bitchly?
I'll workshop it, but...
Yeah, you could do it. BICHLEE. That's a good one.
Oh god, why is Premiere opening right in the middle of our screen? Oh no, Jake and Premiere.
Oh, people are really getting to see how the sausage is made.
Only if they're on YouTube, which none of them are. I mean, they're all subscribed on YouTube. I appreciate them pumping up our numbers.
Yeah.
But I got to imagine we have most of our friends listening on like Spotify or whatever. And I think it's the same people who are subscribed on YouTube.
Yeah, well, if they were real fans, they'd be listening multiple times on every service, but...
To inflate the numbers, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Not inflate. Give us the numbers we deserve. Let's be real. Okay. No one's inflating anything. If just printing more money isn't bad,
we're calling it
sometimes
Anchor
you need
Arms
to do it.
This episode.
Sometimes you need to just print more money. Sometimes you just need to pump up those numbers because it's for the best for everyone.
Yep. So you heard him, fan.
Yeah.
Fan out there.
Exactly. all of you,
Become fan.
all of you right now.
We are legion.
Just tab computers and browsers have multiple tabs. It's very easy to just open up multiple and just have them playing all at once. It doesn't detract from the experience. Yeah, you can turn the volume down. You can turn the volume. You can mute it completely. It doesn't matter. YouTube has no idea what your speaker settings are.
The numbers we deserve, he says, and it says play it on mute in the background.
Yeah, play it on mute. Like, put it on your phone. Put it on your computer.
Enjoy at any volume.
Or don't enjoy. You can hate it. I don't care. I just need to see the numbers go up. That's all I want to do. Speaking of seeing the numbers go up, Zane, every time I'm on my goddamn computer, I see Sir Mr. Dr. Engineers playing Cookie Clicker. How's that going for you, buddy? How's that addiction?
Dude, it's
that I've rid myself of?
Oh, no. This one's... I'm not addicted. I'm literally remembering to clock in because you said beat my 98%, so I'm gonna.
Okay. What percentage are we at?
Maybe 11. Like, it's a long game, dude. This game is fucking
and it only
massive.
slows down, bro.
I opened the stock market. Oh,
yeah. The stock market was one.
It's so
I got
complicated.
pretty deep into it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give. I don't think even you have the charisma to make that entertaining to just listen to, but I am gonna make you give me a lesson at some point.
Okay, yeah. I can put together a training regimen. I would say Alt-Shift-X on YouTube, great channel. They have a single Cookie Clicker video that I took a lot of inspiration for my play from. I used to watch them because they did a lot of like Westworld and Game of Thrones videos when those shows were coming out. Like they would do like breakdowns and things. But yeah, they also have a Cookie Clicker video and it's pretty good.
All right, noted.
Yeah.
I'm adding it to
for anyone out there
list.
looking to train. They have some advanced strats in there.
In the ways of the cookie.
That are good to use. Yeah, exactly.
I know that it gets deep, man. People really care. Well, I have to verify my phone, so I guess I'm not signing in to follow them.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I never will. I'll cookie my own way.
Yeah.
So what's been up, Stevie Webb? How are you doing? Are you still homeowner? Are you about to be double homeowner?
Dude, oh my god, this is one thing where I really don't want to bore the
okay, well, don't be boring.
bore the audience, but so a couple things developing there. I'm currently studying for my real estate license.
Trying
to do that.
Oh, then you'll move to Austin.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I thought it's just like, oh yeah, you become a real estate agent, you broker your own deals, you like get a cut of the commission. You'll get like the 6% commission. What I didn't realize is that 6% commission is split half and half between the buyer's agent and the seller's agent. And then the buyers, you have to get a job with a brokerage, which I will have to do. I will have to be applying and interviewing with brokerages. And then my commission will be split.
You're tall and handsome.
I'm sure I'll get the job. It's just another thing I have to do. And then my commission of 3% will be split in half between me and the brokerage. So it's more like a 1.5% of the sale price, which ain't nothing. That's still good to get, especially if I plan on buying a bunch of houses. But that's one thing. And then two, the more boring thing is that, believe it or not, more boring is that interest rates are crazy high right now. And they're giving me pause. So
bank it up.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Get a more multi-year unit house next time.
Yeah, just charge rent out the wazoo, really just make it hard for the people living there. Make sure that someone who can't leave, who's kind of stuck there for a while, maybe they got a bunch of kids and like no job prospects. Make sure that's my tenant.
I like it.
And maybe they're disabled, something like that. Yeah.
You could fix that if they aren't.
Yeah, exactly. True. Very true.
A lot of steep stairs at your current property. Make sure that's always on.
There's not nearly enough asbestos in these ceilings. Let me get some more in here.
I learned about asbestos.
Down the tenants.
Asbestosis.
Oh yeah, and asbestosis. Yep. It's in my real estate course.
I can tell you more if you want to know. Lung shit.
Sure, go for it. Tell me why. What will asbestos do to my tenants? How will it help me?
How will it help you? Well, I mean, long term, they will be very sick. But otherwise, I don't know that it will help you in any way.
Well, unable to leave once I jack their rent, though.
Oh, well, I mean, them being very sick, especially if they trace it to the house, doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to leave, right?
Okay, so what's the sneakiest way for me to give my tenants asbestosis? Coming from a doctor's
Asbestos.
perspective.
It's
Yeah.
a 1-to-1.
How do
Asbestosis
I-
is caused by asbestos.
Right. Here's the thing. I could easily get sued.
Oh, you mean
for
like should you
having-
put it
for-
in their throat or should you put it in the building?
Yeah, like, can I, like, do this, like, anthrax style? Like, how... Because obviously if it's just, like, in the walls and ceilings, that's very easy to find and I'm going to get in trouble.
To my understanding,
I'm
it's
looking to do the perfect...
a gradual buildup. Like Navy shipbuilders are a particular population, and not really. And now it's more of a test question because there's not a lot of people who are working at shipyards in the Navy alive anymore. Like during World War II. I should have included that date range. But during that time, they used asbestos a lot in a lot of the hulls of the ships. So people who work in shipyards classically presented with asbestosis, which is like builds up in, I want to say the poles of the lungs, like kind of the outside edges, rather than like throughout the inside. Some of them clump right around like toward the middle where the bronchioles first enter it. Some of them get more spread out. Asbestosis gets real diffuse, and you get little buildups and pockets of asbestos that cause little spots of like dead cells and then cellular changes in your lung. And that's really, really bad for you. And it eventually starts interrupting. It gets deeper, but it's a carcinogen as well, because you can get mesothelioma, those commercials, you know them. But asbestosis is a different thing, and it can also cause respiratory problems.
Okay.
It's more of a chronic buildup, though. If you hit them with one dose, like an anthrax envelope, it's less likely, I would assume, to be a problem because a certain amount of it's going to get like stuck in the mucus lining the airway, moved out by the cells.
Okay.
But like gradual buildup, that's how you do it.
I'm thinking if I can get them like a bouquet of flowers that they smell, that they like sniff often enough, and I trace that. No. I get them like bouquets, let's say once a week. Maybe, if you think that's enough of an exposure. No,
Depends
you don't
on the
think
time,
so?
Depends on the time frame. If you mean within a year, not a shot.
I don't once a week for a whole year, sniffing asbestos, that's not doing anything to you.
Remember that these Navy shipyard workers, they didn't come into contact with it on accident. They were using asbestos. Like they were putting asbestos in daily sometimes for a long time in the Navy. And then decades later, they have this issue. If your goal is to get someone sick and Munchausen them into holding your rental house forever and jacking their rent up to screw them over, I think asbestos is the wrong route to do that.
Well, it's not to screw them over. It's not to screw them over.
It's just to make them suffer in the long term.
No, the goal is to cover up for the interest rate that has risen.
Oh, it's the
nothing
government's
against.
fault.
This isn't personal. Yeah, this isn't personal.
I understand.
Yeah. This is a Joe Biden problem.
Biden.
Yeah.
That poor dude.
Oh, Joey.
How's he doing? I haven't checked in on him lately.
I haven't checked in on him too much, except he said in his campaign he was going to get first-time home buyers a $15,000 tax credit, and that has not happened. That's the one policy I was waiting on. Child tax credit, fine. Infrastructure bill, great. Whatever. I don't even use bridges. I don't leave my house. What I do is spend money and own a house. And I want money. Where's my money, Joe? Where's my fucking money, Mr. Biden?
You know the one bill that I wanted passed?
Was that?
Student loan forgiveness.
He
promised all of it. Then 50,000. Okay, sure. I bet that's where it stays. Then 10. Another cut to 20% off of entire.
You know how you kill a frog?
Bit by bit.
You know how you boil a frog? That's what it is. 1 degree at a time, bro.
This motherfucker. And then that 10. Not even that 10. Where is the 10, Joe? Where is it, Joey? Where, Joe? I want my money too. And then my taxes, my return got approved, and then the check that I got was $1,500 less than the one that it said federal government approved. What the IR fucking S. I have been calling them 1 to 2 times a day, every day for 3.5 weeks, and I've yet to get through to a person. Today, heartbreaking, today, it was, you are 30 to 45 minutes in line. First time I've even gotten that far. Usually the system just hangs up on me.
Yep.
I'm almost through, and then my goddamn apartment and its stupid lead-lined walls, asbestos and lead, the call drops. Or the IRS hung up on me after 26 minutes of waiting.
Yeah.
17 business days so far, Steve. I've been trying to get in touch with them. They sent me this form detailing the changes, and it said, if this seems wrong, call this number.
And it seems wrong.
And I'm calling the number. I was so fucking mad. I realized there are regional IRS offices today, and I went to one, and I know that they're appointment only, but I spent
knock,
all day calling this place to make an appointment and getting kicked out, hung up on by the automated system.
Damn.
And I walk in, and they're like, there's nothing without appointments. And I'm like, somebody explain why the fuck this is happening. Why do you not exist? I don't believe the IRS is real. I'm about to wear a tinfoil hat. I no longer trust the government.
Yeah.
Birds are drones. What the fucking hell? Why is there not a single human soul at the IRS? Even the 2 security guards there were like, we're just contracted. Like, we don't work for the IRS. Does anyone actually work for the IRS?
How deep does this go?
Literally, and I know I'm screaming into the void. I tweeted at IRS News on Twitter, like, what the fuck is going on?
Why aren't you real?
Well, this Saturday they're doing a no appointment necessary walk-in tax help thing, and I think it's for people filing, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it even though I filed because I need some goddamn answers. $1,500 is a lot for my student.
That is a lot of money.
And
that's a lot of money, period.
Yeah, but more when you're fucking broke, buddy, and taking on loans actively. Listen, that's a couple good weeks for you, or a week for you. I don't know. Fuck off.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I want that. I need that. But this Saturday they're doing these walk-in hours. Great. I will be doing MotoGEEZ-P because I already am volunteered to work with the medical staff for 12 hours. So no IRS help for me. And the next one's mid-May, which unfortunately... All right. With this notice came, you have to like notify us if something seems wrong within 30 days. So I'm like halfway through my time and I am constantly and continuously trying to get in touch with them about their extended warranty. And nothing, man, nothing. So that was the IRS and I hate them messages today. And why I said I wonder if threatening domestic terrorism against them will finally get someone to answer my phone calls.
Will get me the attention I need.
Yeah, dude, I'm so close to just like not even doing a residency in the US, just like choosing then to bounce to another fucking country. I'm going to go live in the Netherlands. I'll make half the money as a doctor, but I'll get to live my goddamn life.
Yeah, and I'll know where my money's going.
Honestly, I think bailing on the US of A might be my longest term plan. Especially once you and Danny and all these super successful friends are able to like fly internationally whenever.
Yeah. Once I'm able to be
mogul?
completely untethered from this mortal plane and I can be everywhere at once.
Yeah, you can hang out in my country for a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where, but
ascend humanity. Transcend, I should say.
Netherlands is a good choice, I think.
Okay.
I'm sure that they have some hospitals that speak English, and I can live with that, and I'll learn Dutch.
Yeah, I feel like you'll learn Dutch first before you find an English-speaking hospital.
I don't know. They're pretty goddamn competent.
True.
But I bet I could maybe get enough money. Residency program would be tough if it might be in Dutch, but could work for a bit as a doctor, pay off the student loans here with doctor salary, and then I could save up just enough to live for a year, do like some kind of medical conversion internship, English learning program, which I'm sure they have. They're a successful country, much more so than us.
Medicine is a universal language anyway.
I wouldn't say that, but Netherlands are pretty good and US is arguably the best, so
yeah.
It'll be translatable enough.
Speaking of medicine, Speaking of medicine and Joe Biden, though, did you watch his State of the Union address at all?
No.
Oh, well, let me tell you. He said that we're gonna cure cancer.
My friend.
Yeah, dude.
I bet that set the lizard people conspiracies aflame. They've been
Yeah,
hiding
dude.
it the whole time.
Yeah, dude. He had a lot of good promises. I'll be honest, it wasn't the worst State of the Union address ever, but once he said that he was going to cure cancer, I was like, okay, so how much
La La
of this
Land
is
it
real?
is.
Yeah. Will I also be getting a candy allowance every week?
Okay, Grandpa.
Is chocolate good for me now?
Cigarettes aren't bad anymore.
Yeah, cigarettes are now medicine.
Back in my day, we're going to make it that way again. I can do that on the president.
Remember when cigarettes were good for you?
Do you think he knows
We're
that?
bringing those back too.
Vote for me.
Vote for me again.
I'm going to make the vending machines free in all the lunchrooms and also whatever bullshit ass like student school president speeches. Did you have like full of false promises that could never happen? Just some facsimile of like polling for interest and then like, yeah, I'll take care of those things. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You were nothing but a figurehead and a hollow one at that.
I kind of wish I remember some of the policy positions of my student council presidents and what they promised to the student body, and I never really held them accountable for
You were saying something about
campaign promises.
Was it Helter Skelter, the Manson kind?
Yeah, he didn't win though. He was running for school treasurer. Yeah.
I've held treasurer roles several times. I don't know why. I currently am holding one actually.
You're a numbers guy. What can I say? Often the hardest position. When I was in the club wrestling, I was a treasurer for a year, and that was so much worse than being president for like the next 3 years.
I would say I'm definitely sending the most emails.
Yeah. Because numbers are real. Everything else is fake. That's the thing. Like, any duty of a president, like, yeah, I guess you got to fill out some forms and stuff, but like, you can just whip those out whenever. When you actually have to like make sure that your numbers and things are correct.
And as I'm sure you did, like at the college and grad school level, it's like hundreds of dollars for a given event, thousands of dollars across a semester. Like, there's some serious numbers.
Yeah. And you can't have them. I remember
it ain't like middle school where you have like a $50 class fund or something.
Yeah, I don't know if I brought this up on the podcast, but if I have, it's been mad long, so I'll just bring it up anyway. I remember my first year being an officer on the wrestling team when I was treasurer, and you can get school funding if you use a school bank account, or you can choose to have an off-campus bank account. In which case you have to
invisible to the naked eye.
Yes, correct. And so
you guys went to strip clubs.
No, we did not do that. Not with wrestling team funds, at least.
Strip club wrestling. That was or strip club wrestling, I guess, is already kind of a thing. That can't be. I was thinking maybe the title, but like strip club wrestling definitely doesn't bring to mind a play on words so much as just, strippers wrestling.
Just wrestling in a strip club, yeah.
And I guess that works as a double entendre on top of a double entendre, but that's too many levels deep on these fools.
Right. But so anyway, I was the treasurer, and so we had an off-campus bank account that we didn't tell the school about, that we put like a lot of our dues and fundraiser money in, because we thought that if we looked like we had less money, the school would give us more money, which wasn't true at all. And I don't know why I believed that. I was a dumb kid. And my coaches did not work for UConn, and they did not interface with UConn. So, like, they didn't know what they were talking about either. Every club gets the same amount of money. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
But we didn't know that at the time, and we never thought to ask. So, oh, God, wait a sec. What, dude?
What did he do?
Real quick pause. Everything's fine, except my second monitor freaked out, and now everything's upside down on it, and I don't know why. But Audacity is still recording, so we're good. No, I just said, what the heck is going on?
Okay, well,
resume,
I hope I'm
guess.
still recording.
Wait, did you just press record again?
Yes. Yes, I
Dude.
pressed record again.
Okay, I think when this doesn't make any sense. I think when
God damn
you
it,
press
Steve.
record,
Your fucking
when
hardware setup is making me have more back-end editing work to do.
dude, I think that you pressing record somehow flipped my screen back correct.
Did I flip it upside down again when I restarted, or did that fix it?
No, it flipped back correct now. It's back right side up.
Well, shit, I'm going to have to edit that blip out because you said, wait, pause, and I didn't realize you meant the conversation. I was like, oh, shit, what's going on? And I paused my recording, video and audio, so I've got like 35, 45 seconds of dead time on both.
No way it's that long. But anyway, to wrap up the story. So anyway, end of the year, we have to meet with like the comptroller of like all UConn student activities and stuff. And basically, I'm just there as the treasurer with my president and vice president next to me. And I'm just lying through my teeth about where all of our money is going and where all of our money is coming from.
Oh my God.
Yeah, very dumb. We never did it that way again.
Can you disclose any of it?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder being the treasurer was the hardest job. You didn't do the job of a treasurer.
Yeah, I did the job of an embezzler, I guess.
You know the show White Collar?
Yeah, precisely like white collar.
Nice. Well done.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Ugh. But
a word from our sponsor.
Sure.
Buffalo Trace.
Is it?
I mean, not our sponsor, but it is Buffalo Trace.
They're not? Oh, I thought they were. Why are you drinking them on camera then?
I don't know. Is that going to be a copyright infringement, or can I just enjoy this
Well,
whiskey?
our actual sponsor is Four Loko, and so we promised them one.
I mean, I poured Four Loko
shotgun
into the Buffalo Trace bottle, but it makes me feel classier to drink it out like that.
Okay, if you say so, dude. Four Loko is a pretty classy drink. I'd say.
Are you allowed to have alcohol
breakfast,
when
lunch,
you're on
and dinner.
YouTube?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you gotta be. I feel like I see people drinking on YouTube all the time.
Can you pull up a test run, Jamie? I feel like I have confident idea.
All right, let's see this. You gotta.
Dude, maybe, but no guarantee.
I'm searching on YouTube drinking alcohol.
I mean, I bet you can see Snoop smoke a fucking joint, so maybe you could probably see someone drink, I guess, but maybe not.
There's a video when you search drinking alcohol, the third one. Trying the world's strongest alcohol by Cold Ones.
Oh, there's hot ones and then there's cold ones?
Yeah. They're a couple of Australian mates.
I love it. Some blokes.
A couple of cunts.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Not bleeping that, but definitely going a potential demonetization. I hope you're okay with that financial hit.
That can't be the worst thing we've said. That's fine.
I mean, it's not the
I
first
said
time
it in
you've
an
said
Australian accent, so it's fine. As long as you say it in an Australian accent, it's not offensive.
As long as I speak it in upside down ease, it's fine.
Yeah, correct. When you talk
Bunch
in
of
half
fucking
kangaroo.
kangaroos. God damn it.
Yeah, kangaroo English.
I like that. That was nice. Anyway,
Thank you.
speaking of MotoGP, which we haven't in like 10 or 15 minutes, but
Sure.
I got a text from one of the track's safety guys who's like coordinating a bunch of us. He's the super dope one that I rode around on the, Gator ATV type thing side by side.
Oh, where you sat? Oh, I thought that was the thing where you sat behind him and held his waist and put your chin on his neck.
My hair.
Yeah.
No, we're in like fire suits and shit, and we got a little Gator.
Mhm.
But
Gotcha.
he is the professional with whom I responded to that 3-bike crash at MotoGP last fall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this weekend, so Saturday and Sunday I'm doing that again, which 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. or whatever it is.
Jesus,
it's going to be long ass days.
Fucking day.
Sunday will be like maybe 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. So better, but still, it's a long weekend every time I do one of these events.
Mm-hmm.
But I just got a text from him asking like, hey, are you coming tomorrow or what's your schedule for the weekend? I said, nope, just Saturday, Sunday. I've got class. And he responded with something to the effect of, good, Saturday could get crazy. There's a youth series race that had 3 fatal accidents last year. Dude. Like, we made jokes last fall, when I was doing this, like, oh, you're going to throw a banana peel out on the track? Youth series.
Yeah.
3 fatal accidents. He probably means 3 fatal accidents, like, in the season last year across all the races. Like, it would be unbelievable. I don't know if they stop the race if one person dies, but, like, there's no way that 3 ended up dying and they finished, like, the professional one the next day.
How youth are we talking?
I don't know, 15, 16, 17, maybe even like 14, 15, 16.
Okay, I was picturing like 8, 9 ish.
No, I think they're usually like, because it's still going to be, it's the full scale track. Like, they're going to be going 140 miles an hour.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Imagine letting your child do that.
Ask Danny about it.
You must hate them. You must hate your kid if
Danny
you're letting them do that. Yeah.
Danny, do your parents love you?
Not at the time they didn't. We know that for sure. I bet they've changed since then. I've met them like more recently.
Lovely people.
They seem to like at least like him, like having him around. But when he was little, they definitely didn't. When he was like an awkward middle school kid, no shot.
This little dweeb. Queen dweeb.
Yeah, exactly. This little dickling.
But this little bitchly dickling.
Mm-hmm.
Might be the title. Might have to be the title.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I can't remember exactly who, but I think I've told 2 or 3 more people about this podcast recently. So maybe we're going to get new listeners soon. Dear goodness, I am tongue-tied.
That's professional podcasting for you.
She sells seashells by the seashore, Steven.
Okay, good. Reset.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. All right, yo, we got it
Human
back.
Torch applied for a bank loan.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Yeah, I had a meme quoted to me the other day by a friend, and now I'm going to quote to you a meme that was quoted to me from the other day.
Please.
The other
proceed.
Day. It was before memes existed, said this meme. Very meta. A meta meme.
Mm-hmm.
Before memes existed, guys used to just sit around in a circle and quote Anchorman at one another. And
basically.
That's exactly what the hell high school was. Yeah. No memes, all Anchorman.
Dude, I realize I don't watch a lot of comedy movies, but I think... I don't know. I just don't think that there's that many... They are, but I think when I was thinking back of all the comedy movies that I've really loved, they're just basically all Will Ferrell movies. He just makes the best ones.
Adam Sandler, also great.
Yeah.
Bill Murray,
I
don't in a usually dry kind of way.
Yeah, I like Bill Murray. I like Adam Sandler, but I don't think that their movies connect with me as much as like Step Brothers, Anchorman, and Ricky Bobby do. Like they're
those
just
3 are
even the
and
other
Elf.
And Elf, exactly, and the other guys. I haven't seen that since I was like in high school, but I remember loving it at the time. Like
Elf is my mom's favorite Christmas movie now.
It's up there, dude. It's probably my favorite Christmas movie, I would say.
That or Christmas Vacation for me, National Lampoon.
Yeah. I think I'm giving it to Elf.
That's fair. The couch scene, bounce off the couch, put the star on top. Rewind it over and over, probably 3, 4, 5 times every Christmas for
absolute
a decade
classic,
and a half.
Dude.
Yep, every year. Finally got my mom out of watching Charlie Brown Christmas because nostalgia ain't worth that pain.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but just like
Linus's final speech.
Entertainment wasn't as good then as it is now.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Keep the Christ in Christmas. But what I haven't watched in a long time, but I did used to love watching every single year, was all the Rankin Bass movies.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, like Santa Claus is coming to town, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Little
Drummer Boy, Dominic the Donkey, A Year Without a Santa Claus? I go on? I hope I don't because I can't name another one. Wait. No.
Jack Frost?
No. There was another one. It was a much lesser known one, and one of the things I remember about it was there were all these knights that were evil, and for some reason all of the characters said knight. They all pronounced the K in night, and I don't know why.
Just makes me think of Monty Python. You English can... I'm not even going to say it because it doesn't really It's kind of borderline.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's close to the bad word.
the naughty zone. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, the naughty word.
Not that kind of YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly. We're not that edgy.
Mm-mm. It ain't just
we got shit to lose.
This is high quality stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could say it.
Yeah. I mean, the floor
if you
is
say
yours,
it first,
Steven.
I'll say it second.
Nope. For sure not, and never thank you. Okay. You want to jump into a little blurb of another game, or do you want to continue with boring old talking?
Yeah. Let's play a game.
Hell yeah. And by a game, I mean that same thing we did last time. I forget exactly what we called it. I think the name was still in progress. I don't know. The thing game, where we present a thing to one another.
Oh, wait. I didn't... Okay, yeah.
What do you think? I was coming up with a literal, like, tic-tac-toe for you? Get the fuck out of here,
Yeah. Something like that.
No. I meant the one thing that we had planned, because as we promised,
segment.
hour and a half, more planning.
Right.
So we're doing the one thing we have, the thing game.
Gotcha.
I can't remember if we had a title, but we still need to think of a bit for the segment. A title bit for the segment bit.
Yeah, the segment.
Ooh. I like it. Segment.
Okay.
And there's the title for the episode.
Perfect.
I love it. Thanks for doing my work for me.
Or the segment corner.
I can't wait until the first time we both choose something that is the same.
I mean, we really have... It's
an
really
infinite
just
number of
present on
things.
anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I bet it will happen. Just like, what's your chance if you have
run
like 22 people in a room? There's a 95% chance they have someone has the same birthday as one another, or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Some weird, crazy statistical thing.
Yeah, if you do enough random topics with your buddy, you're eventually gonna mind meld into the same topic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll be sending vibes all your way. It'll just have to be something that I don't pick as we're turning on the video cameras.
Okay, gotcha.
And that, I mean, probably, or I won't be able to send you fucking signals ahead of time if I don't know what I'm doing. It'll have to be.
Yeah, that's when you have to let Destiny take the wheel.
I wish she would, man. I hate driving us everywhere.
Well,
Okay. I'll go first because, again, I have two and you have one. And
I got Uno.
At this rate, it's always going to be, like, the risk is yours to be the person who chose the same topic as the other guy if I'm presenting first.
Yeah, right. I have a better hit rate chance.
Although, if I also present after you every time because I have a second, does that, like, completely even out? I don't want to do the statistics of it.
Yeah, if you're picking 2 to my 1.
If I go first and then you follow it, but then my other one is following yours, is the chance...
I'm trying to think about it in, like...
I think I cover
think
more
about
topics.
It like archery.
Well,
Here's an archery. I have you're hitting a smaller target, but you get a second shot. I have one shot to hit a bigger target.
No. I'm saying
better.
You don't want to be the one who goes second with the same topic because then you're a loser and it was already presented on by the other person.
Oh.
And I think it might be the exact same odds if I keep bringing 2 and you have 1. Like, the advantage of me going first would be nullified by having to always follow you also.
No, your odds are worse.
If I go first,
because here's the thing,
then it's not my loss; it's your loss.
Correct.
My first one can never be a loss. Only my second one and your first and only one.
Correct.
So isn't that the same number?
We both have the set of all topics in the universe. I have to pull from the set of all topics minus 1. Now you can't do your first one, so you can only pull from the set of all topics minus 2.
Infinitesimally. It depends if it's the set of all objects in the universe and you take that as an infinite number of possibilities. And I think in a practical sense, us doing 1 or 2 a week or every other week, in a practical sense, that is an infinite set, which means that shrinks to a 0, like a completely negligible difference in chance.
Negligible, but not 0.
0 when the set is infinite, because that's how infinities behave. And I'm saying
it approaches 0. It definitely approaches 0.
Only on paper. In the real sense, there will literally be more possible things we could present on happening than the rate at which we present things. So there is an ever increasing set of things which is, again, in a functional practical effect, like an infinity a true infinity. So in reality...
No, you're fucked. You're definitely going to pick the same thing as me one day, dude. I know for a fact.
No, you're going to pick the same thing as me.
It's going to happen next episode, and you're going to have to be so embarrassed.
It's the same number of... Same odds. You're welcome, because it still means I'm doing double the fucking work, but...
No, you're screwed.
Then I'm going to keep snacking on the pod, and I hope they hear it. Okay. My first presentation.
Sure.
Maybe you know him. Maybe you love him. I have a friend who has a statue of his head that sits in their child's room.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Jackson, the lunatic that
Dude,
became
this is
president.
my topic. What the fuck?
I wish. I wish I could stuff it down your throat like that. That'd be incredible. Maybe next time you can visit, we can... sorry. Anyway. Taylor's cool sharing you, right?
Probably not, but that's... I'll ask. I'll bring it up.
Just tell her to listen to this episode. Hey, Taylor. You cool with sharing Steve? Everyone else listening, this is a... Oh! Is that the first time this episode
situation? You said it twice there, but yeah.
Yeah, but only in that time?
I think so, yes.
Okay. They might have just seen the script for Babies Are Not Evil, episode 115. I'll plug it, but I'm going to go ahead and make a note. All right, cool. Now I won't forget. Blankety blank blank has been bleeped blanked. Anyway, blankety, now that you hear how good a job I do editing, since Steve is definitely still going to point you towards listening to this episode. Are you cool with sharing Steve? Thanks.
Yeah, sound off in the comments.
I was going to say, this is where I'm asking for some viewer input also. I want this to be a public vote as well. And we'll weigh those against each other. 60-40 for the viewers. So hopefully they agree.
Exactly.
And then if the viewers are unanimous, I guess we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Andrew
democracy
Jackson
is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, speaking of which, let's talk about a president. Having covered our perfect democracy.
Yep.
This dude's kind of nuts. Aside from living in a questionable era where everyone was kind of a questionable person, he, actually, the first thing that drew my eye on this page is a quote from him, and I think it's a perfect way to intro the segment. He was quoted as saying, "I was born for a storm, and a calm does not suit me." And he became the president, so let's dig in.
Hell yeah. That's an awesome slogan.
Right? People were so eloquent and badass back in the day. Feels like uneducated people or people who were homeschooled until they were 8 before starting their life as a farmer and mercenary.
As a mason, yeah.
Wrote
as a mercenary.
Or a masonry. Either one.
Yeah. Yeah, a lawyer general.
Yeah, a bunch of these. Well, we'll see where Jackson goes, but...
Right.
Yeah, they all wrote so well and with such a flourish, and goddamn poetry came out of them for last words. It's crazy.
Yeah, for no goddamn reason.
But let's read through some of Jackson's stuff. He enlisted with the local militia at 13 years old as a courier in the Revolutionary War. So there's your context. Revolutionary War, well before the Civil War, with all the implications that brings. Mm-hmm. Foreshadowing. When he was eventually captured with his brother, a British commander ordered Andrew to clean his boots, and Andrew, quote, balls to the wall. Jackson refused, enraged the commander, who swung his sword at him and created a big old scar across Jackson's face. 13, remember. And he did not fucking forget that. He did not like the English, like not at all. It comes back up. Like in 1814, December, the UK decides to invade Louisiana, and lunatic-ass Major General Andrew Jackson was there, waiting 30 years for a chance to fucking murder them all. Like, Jesus, he is now adult life. And his nickname was Old Hickory, as in Old Hickory Wood, because he was so tough and hard to move. Which, again, very old-timey, but they were, like, severely outnumbered, severely outgunned, and they forced the British to withdraw, and then... Oh, Jesus, that's too big a quote. I'm not going to read it. It's even too flashy.
Okay.
It's so flashy. Said, the news of victory, I'm reading it. The news of victory came upon the country like a clap of thunder in the clear azure vault of the firmament, and traveled like with electromagnetic velocity throughout the confines of the land.
Did they know what electromagnetics were back then, or did he coin the term?
I think it was like real new fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Somewhat recently. I don't know, like what, 1600s,
Yeah.
1700s? And Revolutionary
Ben
War
Franklin,
was 17. Right?
Yeah, Ben Franklin discovered electricity, right?
He made some connections there, but I don't know that he was the originator. There were people doing it in labs with like magnetic stuff.
Okay.
I think magnets might have been kind of the original thing, magnets and metal. That might have been like sparked the idea.
That was one thing I remember learning in physics classes. For a very long time, people didn't know that electricity and magnetism were connected. So I would assume at the time they didn't, but
you're probably
this
right.
Andrew Jackson guy is really sharp on his stuff. Well, he said electromagnetic. So
no, that wasn't his quote. That was just someone else talking about the victory, which...
Oh, okay.
If I may interpret, I don't think that was the kind of fanciful vocabulistics he would have used.
Gotcha.
My best interpretation, though, is that is old-timey Revolutionary War era speak for not a single motherfucker expected him to win, and he stomped them. Like,
right.
Holy shit, thunderclap.
Leonidas style.
Yeah, imagine dropping the mic and the sound is that of a thunderclap. That's the equivalent effect, I think.
Badass.
But yeah, what else? Bunch of duels. Like, after a series of escalating events over a bet on a horse race, he challenged a man named Charles Dickinson, not the author, to a duel. This is not yet president, but not long yet to be president, Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
Challenging a man to a duel. He knew Dickinson was considered an expert shot, and after studying some game film, which I assume means seeing him shoot, because there's no game film, decided the best strategy would be to let Dickinson quickly fire first, hopefully missing, and then take his fucking time to line up the shot. Which is an interesting strategy.
Lay down, steady his arm.
You got to stand
up. Stand right there. That's the rules.
Can't lay down. Yeah. Dickinson did hit Jackson in the chest, though, when he fired first. But fueled off whiskey and rage, Jackson calmly aimed his gun, took his time, and shot Dickinson in the chest also, who died of his wound.
Wow.
And Jackson was quoted as saying, "If he had shot me through the brain, I still would have killed him."
Absolute psychopath.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad we're getting into the heat of it, because like this guy's nuts, and I've known about it for years.
I know it gets bad too. I know that Jackson did some bad stuff. So.
Yeah, I'll have to go to some of the other tabs I have. I have some of that to weigh against it, because like one that I remember from that tab is he signed the order for the Trail of Tears, which is like...
Yeah, he was the Trail of Tears guy. Yeah,
not great.
That's the one I knew.
Yeah, so there's that at least, but let's stick on the crazy ones for right now. Oh my god, I remember his inaugural party. Not being there, but, you know, secondhand. And after a hard-fought campaign, when he was newly elected president, he decided to celebrate the inauguration by throwing a party at the White House. Different security rules than today. And quickly the crowd swelled to over 20,000 people in and around the White House and on the grounds. Excuse me. Drank, I think I Googled into it once, and it was something like 1,000 gallons of whiskey spiked punch. Like ridiculous numbers of stuff was drunk. Or just 1,000 gallons of whiskey. Honestly, a crowd of 20,000 could do that, no problem. Partygoers destroyed furniture, china, and they even ground cheese into the carpets. Again, of the White House. This is a rager, 20,000 deep, that Jackson threw in the White House.
Dude, that's like more disrespectful than what happens at frat parties. Ground cheese into the carpet just for the fuck of it, like...
Wish I could grind some cheese into the headquarters of the IRS's carpet.
Yeah. Just like, fuck this place.
Yeah.
How do we make this place stinky forever? I think it sounds like what the goal was.
I think they had to renovate the carpets entirely, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they just ripped them up.
Well, yeah, it got so nuts he had to jump through a window to escape at one point, which is pretty rowdy. And only after moving all the whiskey to the front lawn were they able to get everyone to leave. Oh, okay. Here, this was the one. I scrolled to a better event. This was what I thought this party was. It wasn't the time moving in so much as the time moving out. When his term was coming to an end, his goal was effectively to take the White House with him, and he ordered one last party. This is my favorite part, maybe. A few years earlier, a dairy farmer had decided to send him a 1,400-pound wheel of cheese. I don't know how hard that is to make in the 1700s. That's a shitload of milking by hand.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, but a 1,400-pound wheel
that had to be an
of cheese.
Unstable wheel. Yeah.
I think
Jesus.
I think there are cheeses, is what you mean to say.
Thank you.
Here, giant cheese wheel. And then I will pull up an image and share this shit. You know, you're right. Most of these are pretty normal. Maybe I'm wrong, but at least at the time, there's an illustration, like an old... I'm sharing it on the screen for people who are watching on YouTube. You'll get to see. This is an old-ass, old-timey painting, the way it was drawn back in the day, at like someone capturing the scene. And yeah, it is... The wheel is illustrated to be absolutely gigantic, like up to people's chest, waist at least.
Jesus.
And they're all cutting into it and cutting chunks out. But anyway, he'd sent them this giant wheel of cheese, and after receiving the cheese and coming to terms with the impossibility of eating that much goddamn fucking cheese, he had left it in the foyer of the White House. Remember, this said years earlier, foyer of the White House for people to enjoy. A few years later, the massive chunk of cheese was still there, some portion of it. That's how big this goddamn cheese was. Also,
well, yeah, I'd imagine after a
week,
week, people stopped eating it.
You also aged cheese for a long time, and people back then were way less picky. Food standards were way lower, and what people ate was way grosser. Like, old cheese, absolutely. That's still like, you eat that cheese.
Yeah. Just scrape off the top layer.
Yeah, listen, these people didn't have peanut allergies. They were digging into this. They didn't know what penicillin was, but they were getting it straight from the source.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, years later, still some amount of cheese. Hundreds of pounds, presumably. So, he decided to throw a cheese rager for over 10,000 people on his move-out party. And they ate the entire cheese within 2 hours, but apparently and allegedly the smell of the cheese could be smelt several blocks away, and one man described it as, quote, an evil-smelling horror. So, you were right, and I just lied to you, but... They still ate it.
For dramatic effect, yeah.
They ate it in 2 hours. Nuts. And the smell was stuck so deep into the walls and carpets that new President Martin Van Buren had to, quote, air out the carpet for many days, take away the curtains, paint and whitewash all the walls before he could get the victory over it. It being the smell.
Yeah. But so that just means that Andrew oh wait, this was moving out, you said.
Yeah, that was his move-out party.
Oh, okay.
Dude was a dick.
Yeah, I get...
Didn't do a walkthrough with the new guy. Yeah, did not do a walkthrough with the landlord.
Do you think presidents ever do anything like that anymore? Just like leave like...
I mean...
weird, disturbing gifts for the next president?
Clinton did a thing. Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably some jokes.
I hope so.
It feels like Trump would have done that.
Yeah, I hope that they like prank each other. They have such stressful jobs.
I bet he didn't flush the last time he left a toilet in the White House. That seems like something he'd do, and he'd be like, ha ha ha, Biden. And of course, some poor like maid or aide or whoever was next in there would be the one to be like, oh, why is it all on the walls? But I bet that was the kind of petty thing Trump would have done and probably did do. And that's also pretty funny to imagine. It feels real.
Maybe.
It feels real to me. I choose to believe.
I like to think that George Bush left a little prank for Obama.
Oh, that seems likely. That does seem likely.
I hope he did.
Why is it that all of the Republican ones seem like the childish, pranky ones?
No, Bill Clinton would definitely prank.
Oh, you're right.
He's a prankster.
Haha, being silly all the time in that office.
Yeah, yeah. He did a bunch of silly things in there.
Ooh-wee. Yeah, he did. Anyway, there was an assassination attempt. This dude, I think he was like a unemployed painter, some kind of, not artist, but like painter, maybe some type of union-y work problem thing. Jumped out with two pistols, but I think they were like flintlock because, you know, back in the old-ass days. And not one, but both misfired. Probability calculated at 1 in 125,000. And the relatively old Jackson at this point beats the shit out of the dude with his cane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And if that's not badass enough for you, Davy Crockett was also there and apparently jumped in and also attacked this guy.
Davy Crockett and Jackson were like tag teaming some dude?
Allegedly so, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And
brutal.
Yeah, Richard Lawrence was the guy who pulled the pistols. He claimed that he was the deposed King of England, Richard III, who died in 1485.
Oh, he's asking for it then.
But exactly. So in a weird twist of lunacy and irony, Jackson kind of continued to kick the shit out of the British.
Till his dying days. That's my president.
Like, let's see. If he was 13 in the Revolutionary War, which was 1770s, and this is 1835, my dude is at least 70, 73, like, old, and beats the shit out of this dude. Wild. His only regrets, quote, that I didn't shoot Henry Clay and I didn't hang John C. Calhoun. Oh my God. President of the U.S. Absolutely.
I wonder what kind of margins this guy won by.
It said hard-fought battle, so hard to say. But, yeah. I went to the tab that had some of the horrible shit he's done just so we can give it a more balanced opinion. Again, remember now, this wild batshit crazy motherfucker. I have friends who have a bust of Andrew Jackson in their child's room. To be fair, they were given it as a gift and they think it's hysterical and they recognize that he was kind of a piece of shit, but he was crazy and he was funny. You know, like he's watching over our son.
Yeah.
So
that's true. I mean, he's not a good person, but if you want someone on your side in a fight, it sounds like he's a good guy to have.
No, I'm saying that's exactly what I think. And I went to the bad, and he killed a man in a duel, which we already saw, but it was replicated as a bad thing.
Yeah, but it's a duel.
Yeah, it happens, right?
Like, the other guy agreed to it.
You ready for some better stuff? Well, some worse stuff. He caused an economic depression. He shut down the Bank of the United States, opting instead to deposit government funds in select state or pet banks, which loaned money to just about anyone, leading to inflation. And then he had another idea: stop letting people buy land with paper money, which he hated. He didn't like paper money, so not exactly brilliant.
What did he prefer?
Coinage, credit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Shekels.
Yeah, nuts. He's a dingle hopper. He also released a coin with his own face on it.
Well, I guess it's the ultimate irony. He's on like the $20 bill, one of the most commonly used bills. Probably most commonly used bill after the single, I would say.
Yeah, no, that's fair, I guess. But he didn't put himself on that money. He put himself on the coin, which also, when you hear some of these things, it makes sense to kind of consider taking him off the money.
Yeah,
like he was nuts. So. I wonder if it was him choosing to put himself on a coin that was grandfathered in as him being on the $20 bill. Anyway.
I guess we'll never know.
He fired hundreds of government employees in favor of his friends. Which, again, very frat boy. You're kind of right. Threatened to behead his vice president. Not great. Not a great look.
Yeah.
Gambled away his grandfather's inheritance. Oh, yeah. This one also has the epic party that he trashed the White House when he got his inauguration. But again, we think that's cool. Ruled New Orleans like a dictator. After the War of 1812, he arrived in New Orleans to find the city in disarray, took command of the situation immediately, put the city under martial law. And then, let's see. When a U.S. District Court demanded the senator to be charged... Oh, wait, he had the senator arrested who wanted to... You know what? Fuck it. He was cool. Ignore these boring-ass facts against him. They got to present it in a more entertaining way. My other source was more fun, so you know what? I guess he's not that bad a guy.
Well...
No, he also did some horrible shit against slaves, Native Americans, marriage scandal, just completely ignored the Supreme Court at one point. Clearly fucked up the economy, like Trail of Tears.
Well, wasn't he one of the two presidents who ever got the U.S. debt down to zero?
I don't know. He might have maybe gotten the national debt to zero, but left the whole country in a depression doing it.
Yeah, very possible.
Yeah, that seems like something he might have done. But Yeah, he was a POW, self-taught frontier lawyer like Lincoln, served in Congress at a young age, also self-taught military leader like Andrew Jackson. He was friends with Aaron Burr, so opposite Jackson, but, you know, different Jackson, different time.
Yeah.
Cool dude. Giant cheese. Beat the shit out of a would-be assassin.
Yeah.
President Jackson. Love him or hate him. Respect him or fear him. He's at least fucking nuts to read about.
President. Yeah. He at least lives a life probably more interesting than anyone you've ever met.
Dang near it. It's pretty up there. So, what, Steve, pray tell, did you bring for us today?
So, Zane, have you ever heard of the Olympic Games?
Oh, once or twice when I was competing in them and announcing for them.
Right. So
twice.
They're back in the day, back where was this hosted? In America's first Olympics.
Ooh,
in
1904. Damn.
1904 in St. Louis.
That was going to be my second guess.
The Olympics were hosted, and they were tied to that year's World's Fair, which not exactly an athletic event. And so
still exciting.
When it came to yes, but when it came to the marathon, I would say the archetypal Olympic event, the original Olympic event, unless you count wrestling, shout out wrestling.
Whoop, whoop.
They kind of just turned it into a freak show rather than an actual race.
My favorite Greek vases from way back in the day is people suplexing each other.
Oh yeah,
the original sport.
Yes, it is the original sport.
Tombstone pile driver. Oh, on the walls of the Acropolis. Have you seen it?
Yeah. The RKO was invented by my ancestor, the Neanderthal. But what they did instead of having actual like world-class athletes, or in addition to world-class athletes, I should say, is they invented. Mm-hmm.
In addition, they had both.
Yes, they also had just a collection of oddities
that they made run the marathon.
Correct, that they had run the marathon. Some of these people were just kind of randomly invited. It says here, among the leading oddities were 10 Greeks who had never run a marathon, 2 men of the Suna tribe of South Africa who were in St. Louis as a part of the South Africa World's Fair exhibit and who arrived at the starting line barefoot, and a Cuban national and former mailman named Felix Carbajal, who raised money to come to the States by demonstrating his running prowess through Cuba, once trekking the length of the island. Upon his arrival in New Orleans, he lost all his money on a dice game and had to walk and hitchhike to St. Louis.
Oh my goodness.
At 5 feet tall, he presented a slight but striking figure at the starting line, attired in white, long-sleeved shirt, long, dark pants, a beret, and a pair of street shoes. One fellow Olympian took pity, found a pair of scissors, and cut Carbajal's trousers at the knee. So he basically shows up in
pants.
Yeah, in basically a suit, and one of his fellow competitors at least cut his pants to make them into shorts. But yeah,
it's like they grabbed this dude straight off the bus.
Yeah, and
the bus from New Orleans.
You would think that the people in it would make it weird enough, but no. The entire course was very dusty, and breathing in that dust caused all kinds of injuries, including one runner who was hospitalized with hemorrhaging after the dust tore his esophagus and stomach lining. The organizer of the race purposefully withheld water in order to test the effects of dehydration. What? So the whole thing was a nightmare from the start.
He was doing science experiments on these athletes and random people?
Yeah, let me... It said something else about it in this.
That's insane.
Yeah. So James Sullivan, the chief organizer of the games, wanted to minimize fluid intake to test the limits and the effects of purposeful dehydration, a common area of research at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Cars carrying coaches and physicians motored alongside the runners, kicking up even more dust and launching the runners into coughing spells.
Dude. Oh my god, how did they not yell at them like, stop?
Yeah, they couldn't yell, bro. They were out of breath and lungs full of dust.
And blood.
So getting to some more of the racers, the first place finisher, Fred Lors, hitchhiked a ride in a car to the end of the course after he was struck with serious cramping. He got out shortly before the finish line and crossed it, which fooled some of the onlookers. He claimed he did it, quote, as a joke.
That's unbelievable. This whole thing is such a dog and pony show.
The second place finisher, Thomas Hicks, was given a mixture of egg whites and I don't know if you know this word. Strychnine? Strychnine. What is that?
It's not good for you.
Yeah, it says it's a poison that is often used to kill rodents or birds.
It's literally rat poison, yeah.
Yeah, he was given a mixture of egg whites and rat poison as an attempt at a performance-enhancing drug. He was carried across the finish line by his handlers. This is the man who was second place in the Olympics for the marathon.
In a coma, just being carried across.
Yes, by his handlers.
This reminds me, did you ever watch? Oh, wow, core memory unlocked. Do you remember the Scooby-Doo movie special where they're in an auto race with a bunch of monsters?
I don't think so.
That's so sad. I will send you the link, but it's like, excuse me, Dracula's castle or something, but there's a whole bunch of monsters, skeletons, vampires. It's not Dracula, probably Frankenstein. And they're all in a race. And it's just Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, I think. Dude. I don't know why that just jumped the hell into my head, but it's the same type of like wonky hijinks where they're like, diverting each other's cars, like, I don't know, Wile E. Coyote ass antics and shit in this otherwise normal race, or supposed to be normal. Like that dude, one dude's getting carried across, one dude took a fucking taxi, everyone's getting choked out. They're putting the opposite of water, like dust, almost deliberately into these people's throats. Like, unbelievable. It's just like such an absolute mess.
So apparently also this guy Hicks, who finished second, at one point he had begged for a drink, but they refused, instead sponging his mouth with warm distilled water.
Oh, you need ions. Otherwise, distilled is not nearly like as good for you to drink. Oh my God, no electrolytes in that.
So Hicks, with the strychnine coursing through his blood, had grown ashen and limp. When he heard that Lors had been disqualified, Lors, who had finished first, he perked up and forced his legs into a trot. His trainers gave him another dose of strychnine and egg whites.
Oh my God.
We gotta give him more of the super soldier serum. He can still get gold. Get more egg whites and rat poison in this man's stat.
Bro.
Oh, sorry. This time with some brandy to wash it down. Dude, they did not know anything in 1904, how the human body works.
Nothing at all. Think how far medicine's come in the last 100 years.
Oh,
imagine
my
where it's
God.
going in the next.
Yeah, so this is in the middle of the marathon. They sponged him down, so after bathing, he appeared to revive and quickened his pace. Over the last 2 miles of the road, Hicks was running mechanically like a well-oiled piece of machinery. His eyes were dull, lusterless. The ashen color of his face and skin had deepened. His arms appeared as weights well tied down. He could scarcely lift his legs, while his knees were almost stiff.
Arms tied down. I'm imagining at his sides, like he can't even swing his arms. He has so little energy.
He began hallucinating, believing that the finish line was still 20 miles away. In the last mile, he begged for something to eat. Then he begged to lie down. He was given more brandy.
And more strychnine.
But refused tea. He swallowed 2 more egg whites. He walked up first to the last 2 hills, then jogged down on the incline. Swinging into the stadium, he tried to run, but was reduced to a graceless shuffle. His trainers carried him over the line, holding him aloft, while his feet moved back and forth, and he was declared the winner.
Was it worth it?
I don't know. He lost 8 pounds during the course of the race. Oh my God.
Jesus, dude, that's brutal.
Yeah, but to bring it all back, our boy Andarin Carvajal, the Cuban man who had to raise the money to come, lost all of the money once he got here and had to have a fellow competitor cut his pants into shorts, finished fourth.
Oh my
behind
goodness.
Hicks, who was full of rat poisoned egg whites and brandy. But Carvajal finished fourth after him. I don't know who finished third. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That dude does have running prowess.
this whole marathon just an absolute travesty.
Sports, baby.
Almost got the marathon removed from the Olympics, but didn't quite accomplish that.
Dude, that's unbelievable. Do you think they would have added the marathon back in by now if it had been removed? It feels like it's so iconic with ancient Greece and athletics, and
yeah.
Well, I guess I was thinking to myself, people run them so often, but I guess they wouldn't have caught on as a thing to do if the Olympics wasn't doing them, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Like
maybe
that would have
not.
altered the course of the zeitgeist such that marathons as a pop culture thing don't exist. I'm sure people would still run 10 and 20 and 30 mile races, but not a 26.2.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, especially back in the day, I can't imagine like
A lot of
normal
people were measuring their
that
running
much.
distance. No.
Yeah.
You were barely
If they were
scraping
running at
together.
all.
Yeah. No. Lugging up the oil cans was all your 8-year-old body could take in terms of an exercise for the day. No one was running. They were all child laborers.
I just wish I was in this stadium where like watching this half-dead zombie man.
Can you Google real quick?
I can't believe he finished second.
When did he die? Well,
that's a good
technically
question.
First.
Yeah, true.
If he died like hours later, I'd like to know.
Olympian.
You have his name,
Thomas
right?
Hicks, athlete. Born in 1876, dead at 1952, age 76.
52, dude. That was 48 years later. People were built different then, I swear.
Yes, for real.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this guy was a trooper.
He was, injected with rat poison, or they had him drink it?
I think he was drinking it, because apparently it said in this article that, like, at the time, very small doses of strychnine were used as a stimulant.
Which means it's probably, I don't remember exactly, but I think that would mean, like, nervous system effects. Which...
Oh, sorry, wait, there's more.
Oh?
William Garcia of California nearly became the first fatality of an Olympic marathon when he collapsed on the side of the road and was hospitalized with hemorrhaging from the dust. Right.
Yeah, wasn't good for him. Strychnine toxicity. Let's see. Where's the pathophys? Inhibition of the postsynaptic glycine receptor, mostly in the spinal cord. There you go. Nervous system, baby. Told you.
There's one more kind of funny thing. Len Tao, one of the South African participants, was chased a mile off course by wild dogs.
What? Think where these races are run now. Like, how the hell was there access for these feral dogs to be spectating, and without tickets, no less? Unbelievable. That's crazy.
Oh, okay, wait. So, another story about our boy Carvajal with the pants cut. He paused the chat with some spectators in broken English just in the middle of the marathon, saw some people hanging out, and decided to, make some friends.
Yeah.
On one occasion, he stopped at a car, saw that its occupants were eating peaches, and asked for one. Being refused, he playfully snatched 2 of them and ate them as he ran. A bit further along the course, he stopped at an orchard and snacked on some apples, which turned out to be rotten. Suffering from stomach cramps, he laid down and took a nap.
And then finished 4th.
Yeah. Sam Meller, now in the lead, also experienced severe cramping. He slowed to a walk and eventually stopped. At the 9-mile mark, cramps also plagued Lors, the guy who took the cab to cross the finish line first, who decided to hitch a ride in one of the accompanying automobiles.
Wait,
waving at spectators Yeah, so this
wasn't
guy had
even a
no
secret.
shame.
It was just like, hey, let me get in with you. I'm tired.
Well, yeah, exactly. There were cars with physicians to like monitor these runners who weren't allowed to drink water, and he's literally like in this car and he's waving at spectators and his competitors as he's driving past them. So maybe it was just a joke, like he said. Maybe he didn't mean to get away with it.
He was like, "This
He was
hurts.
just like,
They won't let me drink.
"This
This is
sucks."
stupid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quit, but I'm gonna quit funny."
Yeah. This sucks.
I like that.
Oh man.
And
But yeah, that's
initial effects of strychnine is excitability and kind of heightened awareness and perception, but then it's followed by vomiting and muscle contractions, convulsions, like not
right.
good.
Especially because they just kept giving it to him with egg whites.
Yeah, baby, protein and strychnine. I'm getting it on a t-shirt.
And brandy to wash it down.
Like caffeine and barbells, I'm gonna get protein and strychnine right across
Hell yeah.
it. Fucking graphic tee, baby.
But yeah, that's the story of the 1904 Olympic marathon.
Unbelievable. That's something else, man. That's wild.
That's good stuff.
Holy shit. Those poor
I hope we have an
competitors.
Olympic Games like that soon again.
I do wish that the Olympics would have a regular person included in the heat for every sport, every event. Like I want a metric by which to know.
One lucky spectator.
I want someone who's at the 50th percentile for the host country doing every event.
Right.
It doesn't need to be the same person for every event, but like
Right.
high dive, I better see somebody who's like able to swim
Afraid
but
of
not
heights.
too good. Yeah, exactly. Did some childhood gymnastics, but nothing since.
Right.
Yeah, I want to see it all. I want to see the 10th percentile overweight, whatever it is, like, clerk from the store down the road, huffing and puffing next to Usain for the first quarter second before he's well behind Usain.
Yeah, before the race is over.
Yeah, dude. Wouldn't it be nice to see a little bit of an idea? The swim races, just make them do the full distance, even for the really long ones.
Yeah,
They're just getting lapped
do?
and lapped, and then you're waiting for this poor person.
That's what I was gonna say. Is it like Mario Kart rules where everyone else is done and like the race just ends?
Yep, it says how far percentage-wise they finished. And then because archery,
it's not just one person being embarrassed on live international television.
Nope, you're done when the last person stops. They mark your progress.
Okay.
It'd be perfect. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
The horse events would be fucking nuts. Equestrian.
It would work
People
for
who
some
don't
events
know
and not
horses,
for others.
they're like not afraid of them, but also don't ride them.
Yeah, or even if it was like Olympic basketball, if you just have like one team of average Joes who like get to play the winners at the end.
That'd be great. That'd be really great.
And by the winners, I mean the American team.
We lost this past time, didn't we?
Did we? That's insane.
Olympic basketball. It's sad that neither of us know this.
Dude, sports. Sorry.
U.S. men's basketball wins Olympic gold at Tokyo. Nope, we're good.
Of course.
We're safe.
Yeah.
I think they got beat, but it was like double elimination or something, and then they got back in and like won the whole thing from there.
Oh, such a good underdog story. The U.S. winning Olympic basketball.
And it was like, let me see if I can find out. Maybe that just like giving you the play-by-play would have been a good second thing to do, but you might need to filibuster a bit of time because as soon as I finish this long run-on sentence, I'm going to have to start typing to figure out who beat them and if they got beat in this last Olympics. So go ahead and help.
Yeah, well, the one thing I do remember from the Olympics is the New Zealand team doing that. I think it's called a haka, but I also might be racist. It's
It's a haka.
And it is a haka. Okay, then I'm not going to say the other thing. But yeah, it's that like ceremonial warrior dance that you would see like the Dothraki do something like that in Game of Thrones. That was pretty cool. I mean, it kind of sucks that they probably like got their cheeks clapped by like the American team immediately afterwards, but I don't know. It was cool to see that the Americans were definitely kind of like, yo, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't know that I know what the hell I'm talking about, honestly.
Okay. I wouldn't be
2021,
surprised if
where's
nobody
Olympics?
beat America.
Oh, no. Very first game. France 83, USA 76.
Did we lost to France?
Yeah, in the very first. But I guess maybe that was like a prelim, or maybe it was double elimination. But yeah, France beat us. And then
No fucking shit. Good for you, France.
Iran 66, USA 120. Czech Republic 84, USA 119.
Jesus.
Spain 81, USA 95. Australia 78, USA 97. Gold medal game, France 82, USA 87.
Wow, so good for France, dude.
France beat us, and then we beat them in the finals match by 5 for gold.
Wow. Way to go, France. That's awesome.
Who'd have thought they had it in them?
Yeah, really. Not me. I'll tell you that much.
Seriously, I generally think very low of the French.
Yeah, I don't have a single nice thing to say about them.
Bro. The other thing I was going to bring up for a second topic, the whole idea when I thought of it, sorry to sharp angle, but I just made an extra connection that I think would be a good topic for us to discuss. Everybody's going to want to know.
Sure.
I'm sure you've seen the clip. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
It's impossible to avoid, of course.
That is not what I was going to look into, but it is connected to what I was looking into. So first, let's start here.
Was it G.I. Jane 2?
No, but thoughts. Holy shit. You listened to Andrew Schultz's roast?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It went viral. It's got 10 million something plus on TikTok and like 3-4 million on YouTube. Like it's numbers are skyrocketing, baby.
Good for Schultz.
Excuse me. Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, listen to the Andrew Schultz, his podcast, Flagrant 2, The Roast of Will Smith. It is truly unbelievable. It's him putting his joke, like his comedy is often observational. He crushes it on the crowd work stuff he's released on YouTube, but clearly he can also write jokes. Like that's not storytelling comedy. That's not even like set up punch necessarily. It's mostly just punch. Like he's writing jokes one after another. And
a lot of one-liners.
So impressive. Yeah. Goddamn. But yeah, that's become like a whole thing. I'm not connected to social media aside from the little doses that I get from podcasts, primarily that one. But I guess like people were, I stand with Will, defend your woman. And then it swung back and everyone's like, nah, that was fucked. What the hell? Like, you know, it was words. Don't use violence, especially on national TV. Like, be an adult.
Yeah.
And I think generally Will's taking a lot of shit right now. And I think that a lot of that might be on account of him having his whole open relationship.
Yeah, his situationship.
Yeah, where she fucks their son's friends and he's cucked about it on national TV.
Yeah.
That's rough, man. He doesn't seem like he's loving it.
In the words of Prince Zuko, that's rough, buddy. You don't hit people, though. Hitting bad. That's my stance.
I remember kindergarten. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not defending him. I'm just like, I think that might be where some of the tension's coming from.
Yeah.
It's probably not her haircut.
And Chris Rock handled that like an absolute professional. Oh, my God.
Impressive, yeah. It was good. Yeah. He did a good job. Also, can we talk about the form on that slap? Like, everything about it. Sharply angled arm, like, other hand back. He was just... Oh, that was someone on your screen, and I was like, what the hell? Is there a ghost behind me?
Yeah, no, there is, but you missed it.
It was Hammurabi, the ghost.
It sure was.
Yeah, man. It was a sharp slap, but it was not the right move. That's rough.
What do you think not the... Yeah, I mean, at least you didn't punch him, I guess. Like, a slap's never going to do serious damage.
That's true, but a punch would have been a whole separate story. Also,
yeah, exactly.
Crazy. Celebrity really gets you privileged. Like, imagine if that had been a regular person trying to walk up on stage and slap the host of the Oscars.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. At first, it's weird because you would think that something like that would happen as a joke. Like, you could imagine a stunt being pulled, and some people still do. Some people still do think that, or not, maybe not as many anymore, but definitely at the time, I heard people saying, like, oh, this is definitely staged, blah, 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 blah.
It's crazy.
Like,
unexpected.
2 actors, you know, whatever. And then by the time it... Sure. By the time it had, like, ended, Will Smith had already sat back down, and, like, Chris Rock kind of, I feel like, still kind of thought it was a joke, even though it was a real slap. He was still like, okay, like it just makes it funnier that it's a real slap. And then Will starts like yelling at him, and now it's de-escalated physically, so it's not like he's like posing a threat anymore. So security's not going to like run up and like tackle the guy. But it's just a very odd situation, and then he goes on to win Best Actor later that night.
Incredible. So funny. So funny.
Oh,
Chris Rock gets an award, then gets slapped, then has to present a bigger award to the guy who slapped him.
did he present it to Will Smith?
I don't know. He was hosting the Oscars, so he like read his name, I think, right? Like that's the job.
Different people present different awards.
Okay, then maybe not. I don't know. But he was hosting.
Yeah,
he wasn't irrelevant to his role.
I think he was hosting Best Documentary, or he was presenting Best Documentary at the time.
Oh, I thought he was hosting like the whole thing.
He might have been. I don't remember.
I don't
know.
pay that much attention.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm pretty sure he was
Google.
hosting the
Fact
Oscars.
check.
Like I think Chris Rock was the host for the Oscars.
Okay.
At least the way that I heard it presented. But yeah, it's funny when you yell, "Keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth" after slapping a beloved comedian on national TV. Turns out a lot of other people put your wife's name in their mouth. Like two jackasses on a couple of fellas.
Yeah, I hope Will Smith doesn't come in here and slap me.
Favorite take? If you're not listening to Flagrant 2 yet, I'm disappointed in you, and you should be. Like, that's a podcast worth keeping up with, even if you're not keeping up with the Patreon, which is so good and so worth it. Mm-hmm. But, dude, he went in so hard. I love it.
So,
What's
correction, the 2022 Oscars had 3 hosts, none of which were Chris Rock. It was Regina Hall, Amy Schumer, and Wanda Sykes.
There's also that Amy Schumer joke in Schultz's roast of Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yikes. But, to be a comedian. Not one that gets slapped, but one that laughs about the people getting slapped.
Yeah.
Anyway, the one I was going to talk about and what the connection was, only going to be a teaser because there's no fucking way that we're covering it in the last 7 minutes of this episode. Scientology.
Right.
I was just going to chat a little bit about...
Wait a sec. I was actually very close to doing Scientology as mine.
Buddy, we're mind melding. Can you feel it?
See, that's what I'm saying, dude. We were very close to you doing my topic because your odds are worse.
Ooh, you should have done it. It was close, bud.
Yeah.
It was close.
True.
Anyway, we're not going to go way deep into it. And honestly, we could do so much. We could do the history of it. We could do the crazy shit that they've done to people trying to leave.
The scandals, yeah.
Exactly. Conspiracies even. But the immediate link, and I guess where we'll spend our time today, is apparently something I've been hearing from now at least two sources, is that slapping is part of their weird ass therapy program in Scientology. Like as an airing
for
of
getting clear,
thing, you will slap. Like if another Scientologist does something that is wronging you, like slapping them. I don't know if it's just in group sessions or just like, hey, go slap that guy or what. But yeah, slapping is a part of Scientology in some way. And apparently, Tom Cruise has been reported as having done this, although more of the like verbal abuse, like we've heard, clips from his movie sets where he's screaming at people. But yeah, I'm looking here at the complete guide to Will Smith slap takes. I love it. Oh my God. What the heck? This is what I should have done. This is categorized. Wait, isn't
he a Scientologist?
Yes, exactly, Stephen.
Oh,
he slaps because Scientology.
Because it's his religion. Oh, so we can't blame him,
that's what I'm saying. It's cool. I'm on his side.
Yeah. I take back what I said. He was just expressing his right to religion as an American. Here it is, though.
Scientology is not big on speaking freely, as Chris Rock learned. This is from Twitter account The Max Burns. The slap is much less interesting when you realize Will Smith almost certainly went through the Scientology courses that teach you to unapologetically use slaps and physical force to let a fellow Scientologist know they've done something wrong. There's a Scientology course, I guess you'd call it, that involves slapping / physically humiliating fellow Scientologists, not scientists. In a group setting as a means of exerting superiority, it is remarkably common within the cult. Tom Cruise does a similar thing, but his preferred is shouting and the intense personality intimidation. And yeah, rare that you see the physical side in so public a forum, but in fact, under Scientology, Smith's slap of Rock was the only acceptable response to what Rock did. In Scientology, inaction over disrespect is in itself grounds to get yourself slapped by a higher-ranking Scientologist. Will Smith just didn't want to be slapped, bro.
Yeah, Will Smith, yeah. I mean...
Slap before being
religious
slapped.
freedom.
Yeah, but there's also... I just found this website, and it has the complete guide to Will Smith slap takes, which violence is never okay. They're categorized by the category of take. Will Smith was just defending his wife. Let me know if any of these sound interesting and you want to hear a tweet from it. Chris Rock reacted admirably. Will Smith's behavior is toxic masculinity. Chris Rock's behavior is toxic masculinity too.
Wait a sec. Okay, is that because he made fun of Jada for being bald? Is that what was toxically masculine?
Belittling Jada Pinkett Smith and black women as a whole.
Called it. Well,
yeah.
I don't know about the black women as a whole thing. I don't see that in what he said, but okay.
That's kind of the vibe of it, yeah. Toxic masculinity from both.
Was G.I. Jane 1 black?
No, it was, who was the older Demi Moore? Ashton Kutcher married her?
Yes, Demi Moore.
She did some porns, right?
Maybe?
I feel like
TBD.
I heard that at some point. Anyway, another take, Will Smith should be arrested. Thoughts?
Okay.
I think not.
I mean, I see where they're coming from. He hit somebody.
And then next up, calling for Will Smith's arrest shows America is a carceral state.
Okay. Pretty meta.
Yep. This country is deeply sick with a love for incarceration. Yep. Yeah. Consequences are for non-celebrities.
Ooh, yeah.
That one feels
hot
right.
Take. Yeah.
I'm tripping.
That's
you could just
true.
assault someone on live television on stage at the Oscars and then take your seat and watch the rest of the show.
And win an award, yeah.
Oh, it should tell you something when a man can literally commit assault on live television and not be arrested just because he's a member of the ruling class. The elites don't have rules. Will Smith is of the approved social, economic, and racial class, so he faces no punishment. This person does not know what they're talking about.
Yeah, this person's just throwing buzzwords at Twitter and seeing what sticks.
It's hard to argue, at least historically, that Will Smith is of the, quote, approved racial class.
Right.
He is a white ally.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and make a note to bleep that one out, too. I guess I don't have to dox this random dude on Twitter. You know how viral we are. It's got to be fair.
Yeah. True, yeah. Even if we don't agree with them, we don't dox them.
Yeah, we're kind of people.
First Amendment rights.
Yeah, alopecia is a disability, should never be ridiculed. The slap, capitalized, will prompt a lot of awkward and unnecessary small talk. Here we are. I guess us, making small talk.
I wouldn't say this is awkward.
This is
and
big.
I would say it's quite necessary.
Big talk. Oh my God.
Necessary.
I've been scrolling for a bit and I just realized how far it goes on. Oh my God. The slap puts comedians in danger. We should slap people instead of canceling them. Why didn't I scroll to the lower ones first?
Yeah, the first ones are the obvious takes. They're the cold takes.
Yeah, right?
What's the hottest take you can find?
Will Smith ruined Questlove's big moment.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck that means. Was he about to win an award? Probably.
One of these says
for best documentary.
One of this says Will Smith ruined Philadelphia's big moment. Also, the slap was very Philly. It's a lot of big moments. The slap is what Trump would have wanted. That might be my favorite hot take.
Trump loved the slap. I haven't heard him say it, but he loved the slap.
A huge slap. The slap was perfect form. That was one that I said. So, no big deal. I'm ahead of the curve.
Right.
The Will Smith doctrine has no place in Ukraine.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't know what that one means either. It's pretty memey.
Oh boy, crazy, but there it is. Yeah, don't mind the slap. It's just a distraction or a false flag operation. Yeah, worse things have happened at the Oscars. The slap was old Hollywood. The slap was sullied by F-bombs. If only he hadn't been swearing,
I think that
then
one
this
might be
real
my
TV
favorite.
violence would have been so much more palatable to me.
Yeah, I think I like that one the best.
The slap was the result of a curse. I like that one. One of them overall is, well, what if Will Smith had slapped someone else? Like, look at this dipshit. Yeah, what if he had slapped a woman, or a child, or a female orphan child, or a sick one? Okay, so Will Smith is attacking a little adorable cancer-stricken orphan girl, and you're okay with that? I don't know that it's going to get any better than that. That might be the hottest take of the evening.
Yeah.
All right, we've passed our target limit. I didn't dig into Scientology, but instead, the slap. Maybe we can, we'll see which one of us does it first. I'm not doing it next week, Steve. I'm totally not going to do it as my first topic for sure. What'll you prep? I guess we'll find out. It's a game of chicken and mouse.
Of SlapChicken.
Oh, I've slapped a chicken, and I will again.
Haven't we all?
All right. Anyway, if you're listening, that's admirable of you. Don't be an Andrew Jackson.
Yeah,
Definitely
good for
slap
you.
some chickens. All right. Peace.
Yeah, bye everyone.